Doris, you teach classes here at the ARC, which we love, but you teach classes at other gyms, and you go away every single weekend to somewhere across the United States or around the world to teach other teachers how to teach. And that takes you away from your family, you don't have a set schedule, and you always have to stay on. You always have to be bright and cheerful. How do you stay motivated through that?
Well, I've been an athlete all my life, so I always look at everything like an event or training. So my professional life is an event, which means I am always looking forward to teaching classes because I always have my music dialed in. I have my choreography ready to go. So when I come to teach, it's completely enjoyable. Everything's planned in advance. It's my victory lap. I totally enjoy the students. It's a great time. And then when I travel, it's all about making sure that I eat properly, which means if I'm going on a plane, I don't know what they're going to serve. I have everything in advance in my suitcase. I also make sure I get the proper sleep based on the time zones, and that most importantly, everything's well planned out. So when I go there, I just completely enjoy myself. And that's what you would do as an athlete for any event.
Now, I mentioned that you teach here at the ARC. You do not only cycling classes, but you do endo-row, you do shockwave, you do yoga, you do sculpting classes, which is a real physical burden. Yet on top of that, you run. Why do you run?
It's the one thing I do for myself. When I'm teaching all the other classes, I'm motivating, I'm coaching, I'm inspiring, but this is one thing that is just me. And because it's just me, I don't use an iPod. I just completely have the opportunity just to be still, to process my own thoughts, and just to be grateful for the body that I have.
A lot of people think of running as punishment.
Yeah. Yes.
Something they have to do to lose weight, or it's the only physical fitness they ever did in college or something, and they don't really enjoy it. How do you see running?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I've probably counseled 3 people this week alone who are going to run a half marathon, and they're struggling with running. They're struggling with, they're like, ugh, I have to run. You know, and the reason being is because most athletes, running has been a punishment. I played college softball. So if we were late for practice or had a bad game, or if we had weigh-ins on Monday and we were up a pound, we had to run a mile on top of everything else we did. And so what I think of, instead of thinking about how grateful they are to have the bodies that they have, they're going back to that past experience. And once they shake that off and realize how lucky they are to run and it's not a punishment, they start not only realizing physically the advantages, but mentally how awesome it is to just be still in your thoughts and run physically and mentally. It's an incredible benefit.
You have run the Boston Marathon twice, which is no easy feat. You can't just sign up for that race. You have to qualify. You have to run in races and have a time fast enough, which means you do a lot of running. How much running do you do per week?
Between 60 and 80, about 3 months prior to the event.
Ooh,
yeah.
That is a lot of miles.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated through that?
Oh, it's a total mental game. That's why I don't use an iPod. I really need to be in my own head. In fact, I have to be really careful because you want to train your training exact conditions as race day. I'm not going to run with an iPod during the event or the race. I need to be associated with my performance. But most importantly, one day I kind of broke my rule and I paid the price. It was a Friday night. It was pouring rain, and I had to run 17.5 miles. My friends were all at happy hour, and I'm in the rain in Laguna Beach in the dark running, and I had a pity party. So I put on the headsets and I listened to my Schwinn Cycling, Intelligent Intervals, Master Mix, and I was on fire. I mean, I was flying up and down those hills. And when I got back, I had the most amazing time. But the problem is I was 3 weeks out, and I was just about to taper. And because I pushed so hard and ran so fast, I actually tore some microscopic tears in my body, which actually impacted my performance the race that year. So what you want to do, and what I do, is I just train as if I'm running on race day, and I would never listen to an iPod. I would not want to miss the cheers, the high fives, the popsicles that you see on the Boston Marathon.
Now, you told me that during the marathon race itself, you think different thoughts at different miles during the race, depending on how intense and what you're feeling. Tell us about that.
Well, on the good miles, I'm totally grateful. And I'm thinking about people in my life that I'm grateful for and everything that I have. And then when it gets really tough, like the tough miles when you're just about to have to dig deep, that's when I think about folks in my life who are struggling, like my nephew Josh, who has Crohn's disease. Think about all the treatments he goes through, and I suck it up, Buttercup. I'm running a marathon. This is nothing compared. About mile 23, I kind of hit a wall, and I was running out of gas mentally and physically. And I was like, I'm really starting to shut down, and there was nothing to think about, and it really affected my performance. Everything started shutting down, and I started praying about it, and God said, nope, you got work to do. So at the time, my son was being bullied in high school, and so it was really clear that I had to forgive some people. I had to forgive administration, I had to forgive the kids, I had to forgive the social media and how it impacted my son. And as I forgave each one of them, name by name, face by face, group by group, I just became stronger. I started striding out longer with my legs, and I actually ended up having a PR that year, which is a personal best, at Boston, which is unheard of, and I requalified for the 3rd time.
Wow. Now, most of us don't run a marathon. Most of us are training more at the 1 or 2 miles a week, or maybe not exercising at all. What do you recommend for us?
First of all, every day is a choice. You wake up, you decide to be happy, you decide to make good food choices, you decide to get good sleep, you decide to put fuel into your body, positive environment, great people, and you get to decide your workouts. And so when you decide your workouts and you're making that choice for a good workout and you come with that mindset, you can't help but succeed. So who cares if it's 2 miles or 20 miles? It doesn't matter. As long as you're making a step every day, a positive step, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. It's consistency. I always say, like, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Really. If you're consistent and you stick with it, the benefits are going to be fantastic. And
you recommend this mental transformation to accelerate the physical transformation.
Absolutely. I mean, running is 90% mental, and I think life is 90% mental. It's all about choices. So when you go into your workout as an opportunity to strengthen your body, to lengthen your body, to relieve some stress, to invest in yourself, you're only going to be a better person, a better spouse, a better member of society.
Do you have any words that you sometimes keep in your head while you run that keeps you going?
Well, one of my favorite quotes, and I love to say it to instructors when they've been at a conference and they've taken 15 million classes and it's like the last session of the day and they're just dog dead tired, and I say, you know, from Vince Lombardi. He said, the good Lord gave you a body that can do most anything. It's your mind that you have to convince.
Great. Thanks so much, Doris.
You're welcome.